Now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and we're going to wrap up this week of our movies, our chick flicks, our rom-coms with another Matthew McConaughey film. We're going to discuss Failure to Launch, starring Matthew McConaughey, Sarah Jessica Parker, Zooey Deschanel, Justin Bartha, Bradley Cooper, Terry Bradshaw, Kathy Bates, Patton Oswalt, and Stephen Tobolowsky. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I said in the introduction, we're going to wrap up this week of romantic comedies, chick flicks, whatever you want to call them as, with our second Matthew McConaughey feature for the month. We're going to discuss Failure to Launch. Now, as our movie opens, 35-year-old Trip still lives at home with his parents, Al and Sue, in Baltimore, Maryland. His best friends, Demo and Ace, also still live at home with their parents, and all three men seem proud of it. Now, Trip has many casual girlfriends, and when he's tired of them, he invites them over to his place, and once they realize that he still lives at home, they promptly dump him. Al and Sue become fascinated then when their friends, whose son recently left home, reveal that they hired an expert in order to get him to move out. The expert is Paula, who believes that men continue to live at home because they have low self-esteem. Her approach is to establish a relationship with the man in order to help build his confidence and then transfer his attachment from the parents to her. However, Trip does not fit her previous profiles, as he has normal social skills, good self-esteem, and a good job that he enjoys. After an awkward encounter with Trip's parents, Paula is able to thwart his attempt to dump her by having sex with him, all the while developing real feelings. Paula and Trip then soon find themselves in unfamiliar waters, and they confide in their friends as a result. Now, Paula's vocation exasperates her roommate, Kit, who thinks that Paula took the job because a man who lived with his parents broke her heart. She is shocked to learn why Trip still lives at home. His life completely collapsed when his fiancée died suddenly, and his family has been his solace ever since. When Ace learns what is really going on, he blackmails Paula in order to get a date with Kit. And although Kit is more attracted to Demo, she ends up falling in love with Ace. Ace then outs Paula to Demo, who in turn tells all to Trip. Trip then angrily confronts his parents and breaks up with Paula. Now racked with guilt, Paula refunds Al and Sue's money. After an awkward confrontation, Trip forgives his parents, but he still can't bring himself to forgive Paula. Trip's friends and family then come together in order to devise a plan to try to get the two to reconcile. They end up tying and gagging Trip and locking him and Paula in a room together. Paula then proceeds to pour her heart out, and Trip finally forgives her as our movie comes to its end. This movie had a lot of pieces to the puzzle that I absolutely adored. First of all, Matthew McConaughey and Sarah Jessica Parker made a great team. Chemistry was good. Talked about Matthew McConaughey on Wednesday when we did How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. If you missed that review, I'll link it up here. We also talked about Matthew McConaughey last November when we did our month of Sandra Bullock films, as we discussed A Time to Kill, longtime favorite of mine. If you missed that review, we'll link it up here as well. Now, outside of those few movies, as legendary as Matthew McConaughey's career is, I honestly haven't seen that much of his stuff. But these couple of chick flicks that I've seen this week really caught my attention, and I understand now why so many women make a huge deal about him. Sarah Jessica Parker, likewise, I've discussed over the past year, did both Hocus Pocus films. I won't link those because it'll take too long to try to get through them all, but go back in the channel, check out my reviews of the Hocus Pocus films. But she was amazing in her role as Paula, and I thought the dynamic here was very interesting, as I'm a guy who lived with his dad well past the time that I probably should have. It took my dad up and moving out for me to get away from living with my dad. And granted, I've still had roommates or lived with other people pretty much my entire life since then, whether it's living with a relationship like I currently am, or just taking in roommates, whatever the situation is. I don't think there's ever been a time when I've truly been on my own. And the reasoning behind why Tripp's character still lives with parents, I think was a nice twist, because you get this whole buildup with Paula and her job as to why men do this. And then here comes this straight out of left field. You know, he was engaged to be married. She died. And he went back home because that was what could get him centered and focused again and get him back on with his life. And you really feel for that, because like the description says, he doesn't fit any of her profiles. Then you get Justin Bartha in this, who I've discussed a couple of times doing the National Treasure films. Again, it's going to take too long to boom them up there, but check out my review of the National Treasure films. I did both of them. He brings such a nerdy innocence to the character of Ace, and it's so good. It's so good watching him get these other major roles off of the success of some of his earlier work, like being Riley Poole in National Treasure. Then you got Bradley Cooper, who I discussed last month in A Star is Born. I will link that one up here because that only is one movie that's going up there. He did alongside Lady Gaga. And then, of course, he's Rocket Raccoon in the MCU, the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. But all the pieces of the puzzle just fit beautifully. Then you got Zooey Deschanel as Kit, the roommate. You've got Terry Bradshaw and Kathy Bates as Matthew McConaughey's parents. You've got all of this stuff mixing and bubbling together in the pot here that make for a damn good and very interesting movie, in my opinion. If you're not a huge fan of these type of movies, but you are a fan of some of these actors, again, you got Matthew McConaughey, Sarah Jessica Parker, Zooey Deschanel, Justin Bartha, Bradley Cooper, Kathy Bates, Terry Bradshaw. Like, there's 7 names. If you're not a fan of any one of them, thank you for checking this out. I understand if you don't watch the movie. But if you're a fan of even just one of them, check this film out, because I think it's highly entertaining. So much so to the fact that when it comes to my rating for this film, I am going to give Failure to Launch 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was good. I thought it was endearing. I thought the cast was great. I thought the story developments and the beats were perfect. 4 out of 5 stars. Those of you that have seen Failure to Launch, what do you guys think? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. Let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction that I'm always asking you guys for in the comments below. And make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And it's new release Saturday. We're going to be taking a look at the Netflix film Doggone, starring Johnny Birchtold, Rob Lowe, Kimberly Williams Paisley, Nick Piney, and Savannah Brophy. And then following that, right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, as well as on the Jeff Meacham Network and across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media, it'll be time for another PLE watch along as we cover NXT Vengeance Day. Myself and the simple man Noah Foster will be on the call, providing you all of our live thoughts, reactions, and commentary for the matches from WWE NXT Vengeance Day. And then, immediately following all of that, once again on the Casa D18 Studios channel and on the Jeff Meacham Network and across the multiverse of media, it'll be time for our weekly outing of Open Mic Night. We'll once again open the doors, let people come inside. Myself, the simple man Noah Foster, the West Coast professor Jeff Meacham, the Heeb man James Hebert, and whoever else decides to step up to the microphone and join us in discussing the week of professional wrestling. You don't want to miss out on any of that content right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, on Renegades Reviews, on the Jeff Meacham Network, across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media. Doggone new release Saturday, Vengeance Day coverage, Open Mic Night. So much in store for you over the course of the rest of this month. You want to make sure that you're tuned in and that you don't miss out on any of it. So make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel or anytime we go live, as is the case with Open Mic Night, pay-per-view PLE coverage, Stat Boy Sports Bar, etc. Share these videos with your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, movie fanatics, cinephiles in your life, fans of Matthew McConaughey, fans of Sarah Jessica Parker, fans of Zooey Deschanel, fans of Justin Bartha or Bradley Cooper or Terry Bradshaw or Kathy Bates. Anybody you can think of that would enjoy this content in this video, share it with them. It's the only way we're going to boost up my visibility in YouTube's algorithms so I can eventually get monetized and make some money off of the hard work I've been putting into the channel here for the last 2 years. Thank you once again to everyone who joined me and tuned in today. It means so much more to me than you will ever know. And I will see you guys next time.